That's Marc Burford, and he's just released a new song titled Sweetest Summer. We found Marc at home in England in a little town called Palestine. And we asked Marc what inspired him to write and record Sweetest Summer.
Words that we made.
Well, I was listening to a lot of... do you know an artist called Rai X? He's like a...
No, I don't.
He's like it's slightly more electro, but I had him on repeat, and I was like, oh, if I could write a song a bit like him.
Right.
So I sort of listened to a few of his songs, and I kind of got the bug for it a little bit, and had this guitar riff, which is like the intro guitar part. And then I had another melody over the top of it, actually, because when I write, I tend to just... the words just come to me, and then I record what I'm doing, and then afterwards I'm like, well, what am I saying there? And then trying to make a bit of sense of it, and then I sort of grasp a meaning from the words after.
Right.
Most of my songs that come that way, not all, but so I'd had a few words and a few strings and I had a few ideas, and then the first opening line came, and then sort of the rest of the song sort of formed together in quite a short period, really. Within about 20 minutes, I had the whole thing done.
Nice.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's really good.
Does it happen like that often or not?
To be honest, for me, yeah, they do. The best ones do come quick. Like there's definitely ones that I've worked on for a longer period of time, but it's that I always find this with anything creative, or when you're coming up with a new idea, it's keeping that momentum going.
Yep.
You know, it's because that's where the keeping the flow in that. And if you stay on words too long or stay on one idea, you tend to lose that flow.
Right.
So I'm quite cautious of like, no, get it done. That'll be fine. I'll do that later.
Very cool. And I see there's a video that's coming along with the song as well.
You will always be my sweetest summer, even when this heartbeat fades. I will always remember the moments, forever will stay, forever this way.
So there's a local village near here, and they have an abandoned church that was abandoned, I think, in the 1970s.
Okay.
But they maintain it. It's a really nice. It's still pristine, but just no one uses it. So I contacted the village and said, look, can I shoot a music video in this church? And the guy was like, yeah, no worries. He put me in contact with this person, and then on the day, the local sort of church committee inspector woman turned up. What are you doing on this church? You've not got permission to be in here.
Right.
Nice. By then, luckily, I'd got all the footage I needed, so I was just quickly got the crew out there.
Right.
Like, let's get out of here,
Oh,
guys.
nice.
So the video is actually, you'll see it's me in a church singing, and then there's the clips of this girl. The sort of like it's sort of like lament of a summer, really, of a good time that I'm thinking back to.
Well, it's good timing. It's almost summer here in New Zealand.
Yeah. Well, it's not that here. Not at all here.
Have you ever been down?
That's why I'm missing it.
Have you ever been down to this part of the world?
Do you know what? No, I haven't. I've got many friends in New Zealand, but I must come over. I'm sure I will.
I'm sure you will
at some point.
Absolutely, you got to do it. Yeah. And so, tell me in general about the sessions that comprise the album that's coming out. Who do you have? A lot of people working on it? Is there a producer? What's the deal?
Yeah. Well, I've recorded it all myself.
Okay.
And produced it myself. There's a few other lyricists that I've worked with on a couple of the tracks, just to bounce some ideas and added a few lines here and there, which has been great. What else have I done? Yeah, and most of the sessions were, there's a couple of songs on the album which are basically the demos. Yep. Because I made sure when I track an idea in now, if I've sat there with the guitar and got the idea, and I know I'm at a standard where I know it's going to be good anyway. So I'm like, I'll record this properly, because if it's good, then I can use it. Yep. That's kind of how I work now. So I make sure I've got it to a click track and it's all going in right and sounding good. So a lot of them were sort of tracked in that way. And then I had the nice guitar and vocal recorded, and I thought, well, I'll just add to it now. So then I just added a few drums here and there and whatever I needed. So a lot of the songs were kind of shaped in box, as they say, in the studio, and then I've taken them from the studio out live now and sort of rejigged a few. So
gotcha.
It's been an interesting process.
Yeah. So, well, we'll look forward to hearing that when it comes out. And did you just put a single out called "People" as well?
Yeah. So I did. That was it's actually a cover of a Libby Anchor song. I don't know if you know the original.
No. I saw it was written by someone else, and that's all I know.
Yeah, well, it's like almost an R&B kind of song. Actually, it's nothing like the version I've done.
Right.
'Cause you see people, they don't really know you. They don't really know you. 'Cause you see people, they don't really know you. They don't really know. I've been drinking more alcohol in the past 5 days. Did you check on me?
But I like the meaning of the song, and my friend sent me it. He said, I think you'd sound good singing this. I was like, really? I don't sound anything like it. And then I shared a clip on Instagram and TikTok, and a lot of people messaged me saying, "Oh, where can I hear the full version?"
Right.
I said, "Well, I'm not releasing it." And then I kept getting messages, and I thought, I've just got to put it out. Just if people want to hear it, then I know it's a cover, but if people like it and they're getting something from it, then who am I to keep hold of it? You know?
Absolutely. Now, you used to be in a band called Echo Tape, right?
Correct. Yeah. Yes.
And
yeah.
From what I can see, that kind of came to an end around COVID time, beginning of 2020.
Yeah. Well, it was yeah. So I don't. So basically, we were touring around Europe, supporting a band called the Posies.
Oh yeah, I know the Posies. Yeah.
Yeah,
Frosting on a Peter was one of their albums, I think, just off the top of my head. Why do I know that?
Yeah, yeah, they've got a couple of really good songs actually.
Yes, they do.
And after that tour, I my hearing just it was almost overnight. It just went.
Right.
I had a thing called hyperacusis. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I have not.
It basically your ears lose the ability to compress sound.
Right.
So I would be like I don't know, in the kitchen. Someone put their keys down on the side, and it would make me jump out of my skin. Yeah, I just couldn't. And also, just little things like answering the phone. I had to have the phone so far away from me.
Right.
It was just. And it took me it stopped the band overnight, and then the bass player moved to Australia, and
as bass players do.
A few of us had kids. yeah, and then I was just like, I need to just get back to doing music, because I thought I would never be able to do it again because it was so bad. Right. It was just like a living hell for 3 or 4 years.
Crikey.
And then I slowly...
That's treatment of it, or you just had to wait for it to dissipate?
Well, this is the thing. So I went to see a doctor. They was like, there's nothing you can do. Oh. And then I paid to see a private consultant. They said, this is a really rare thing. It's typical of people in the forces, if they've been blown up by an explosion. Right. But you seem to have had this just by endured overexposure to loud music. I said, well, that's not fair.
To the PA.
Yeah, I said, well, that's not fair. Like, why do I get it? Like, why has no one else got this? And then I sort of just come to terms with it a little bit. And then I went and saw this nutritional, functional medicine doctor. Right. And they look at the root cause of things. And they did a load of tests on me, and they found that I've got this MTFH. I won't go into it in too much detail, but I've got this MTFHR gene, which means my body doesn't methylate vitamins and toxins. Okay. So it was basically a B vitamin deficiency. Okay. So I had methylated B vitamins, and within a year, it was gone. And I was like, cool. I had my life back. Yeah. So anyone if anyone's watching this, they've got hearing problems. Yep. See a functional medicine doctor, because they look to the root, and you might have a chance.
That must have kind of messed with your head, though, having to go through that process to get back to where you are now. Yeah, but it was actually, at the time, it was hell, living hell, because I was like, all my life I've just been, well, I'm gonna just do music. That was just, it was in me. And then suddenly I was faced with, well, maybe this is not what I'm supposed to do. Right. And then I had to sort of really, I went and got another job. I got a proper job, fitting fireplaces in people's houses. Of course you did. I was like, it was just like, I was like, well, this is me now. And I was so unhappy. But then I was like, no, I need to overcome this. This is just another test. This is not my fate. I need this. I know my body's telling me, but the body's telling me something's wrong. But that's just the canary in the coal mine. Yeah. And I had to and then once I come to terms with that, I was like, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get back to. In the studio, I had headphones. I managed to work through it. It was horrible, but eventually I came to the end of the tunnel, and I was like, thank God that's over. But also I was grateful, because it gave me a new perspective on just, once that was taken away, I thought it made me just really appreciate it. And I was like, this is just an absolute blessing to even have hearing and to be able to do what I do. Yeah. It was just transformative, really. It's probably one of the best things that happened to me. That's pretty cool. Well, congratulations. Glad you're back with us. Could you watch TV and stuff with it when it was all messed up? It would
yeah, it would calm down slightly, and then I would think I was fine again, and then I would literally, I don't know, put some music on it at a louder level, and it would
Yeah.
come straight back, and I'd
Right.
be like, oh,
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Well, thank goodness that it's over. Hopefully it's over. Fingers crossed and all that. So yeah. And do you have to be careful when you're doing gigs now that you kind of don't?
do you know what? No, there was about a year where I was super careful because I was so petrified that it was that
Yeah.
it would come back. But I'm absolutely fine now.
Hey.
It's actually crazy because I just didn't think I would ever be here again. I just never believed.
Yep.
Well, I did somewhere because I kept going. But
Yep. Good news.
yeah, it's amazing. Thanks, man.
A happy story ending. Very good. All right. Well, thank you for sharing all that, and good luck with the Sweetest Summer. It sounds like it's going to be pretty sweet now, and especially for us down here because we're about to have it. They look at
Yeah.
December 1st is the official in New Zealand and down in this part of the world first day of summer. They don't wait until like the equinox or anything. They can't wait to get started. So.
Fair enough.
You're
So,
right on
so
it.
what's are you have you got plans for Christmas? What do you normally do? Is it?
Yeah, well, my family's down. I have a couple of daughters down here and stuff. So yeah, we'll do the usual stuff, you know. But it's weird because there's no snow. I'm from upstate New York. It was very cold and snowy on Christmas, and now they have barbecues.
Man, that sounds good. That sounds good. Can I come to yours on Christmas
Absolutely,
Day?
you're more than welcome. Anytime. All righty. Well, thank you
Brilliant,
very much. Good luck with it all, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again soon. Good luck with it.
Thanks, Marty. Thanks for having me, man. Take care.